What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Cam, ATL. Shout out to the DFS squad. Shout out to everybody watching this video right now. Drop a like down below because I already know you're going to love it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you comment anything down in the comment section and enter your name into the $50 giveaway that I do every single week on this channel. Make sure you check down in the comment section to see if it is your name for last week's giveaway. I will be commenting the winner's name around lunchtime tomorrow, Tuesday. So if you scroll down and see your name, make sure you hit me up on Twitter at Cam_ATL so I can send you that 50 on over. Thank you for joining me once again in this video. As always, we are going to break down the first look and throw a lineup together. We're going to talk about the guys that we put in the lineup. We're not going to go too in-depth about a bunch of people on the slate. We're mainly going to talk about the guys we're putting in the first lineup. We're going to build this first lineup together and start the week off on a high note. All right? And then again, I will come back in the final look that I will be posting Friday morning, and we will go over every player that we're interested in the entire slate and do a full slate breakdown on Friday. Hit up greenlightdfs.com if you haven't already to join up for week 7 with the squad. We're doing a special thing this week where NBA is less than 10 days away. So I am going to be choosing one random person who signs up with the squad for week 7 at greenlightdfs.com, and I will be giving you a season-long NBA package for the free. All right, let's get straight into this, guys. I'm not going to take up too much of your time. We're going to go through this as smooth as possible. Starting off at quarterback, the guy that I'm really interested in here is Jared Goff at Atlanta, okay? He's going to be in a dome, which is always a plus for quarterbacks, okay? Doesn't have to deal with any type of weather issues. It's a nice high total in this game, and Atlanta's been giving it up like crazy. 23 to Jacoby Brissett, over 23 to Mariota, over 44 in that Watson game that cashed me in $75,000 week 5, as well as some other members were able to take down the same amount in the same contest. And then over 31 to Kyler Murray last week. All right. Jared Goff is in a great spot to bounce back after that tough game against San Francisco in week 6. I'm expecting probably his best performance of the season here in this one. It's an amazing matchup against Atlanta. High total in a dome. Jared Goff. Next up at running back, my favorite running back on the slate is Leonard Fournette at Cincinnati. Now, we know this has been the same thing we've talked about over and over again. You start running backs against Cincinnati, they've been giving it up. They haven't given up less than 15 Draftkings points all year. Okay, the lowest they've allowed all season is what they allowed week 6 to Mark Ingram. He got over 15 points. He got 15.4 exactly. But, I mean, this Cincinnati defense is bottom in the league. They're 27th in the entire league. They allow over 110 rushing yards a game. Okay? They just are absolutely getting crushed on the ground, and they happen to be going against a running back for the Jacksonville that gets more snaps than most of these running backs in the league. He's on the field almost as much as like Christian McCaffrey, Le'Veon Bell. Those dudes are workhorses, and Leonard Fournette's the same way. He's getting a ton of run, and against Cincinnati, he's in a great position to get in that end zone and return us a 20-plus value. All right? Next spot that I absolutely like on this slate is Josh Jacobs at 5,000. All right, Josh Jacobs had his coming out party in a way. Week 1, he did a great job, but last week he got 32 Draftkings points against a stout Chicago defense, getting 26 carries, 123 rushing yards, and 2 touchdowns, as well as catching 3 passes for 20 yards. Now he gets a much lighter test against a Green Bay defense that they have allowed over 14 Draftkings points in every single game. All right, every single game. They gave up over 31 to Dalvin Cook week 1, over 29 to Phillip Lindsay week 2, over 32 to Jordan Howard, over 17 to Zeke, and over 14 to Johnson, who they just played on Monday night. Okay, and he is not that good. Josh Jacobs is getting a ton of carries in this offense. 26 carries is very, very nice. Expect them to keep feeding this kid the ball. And I absolutely love it against the Green Bay defense. That secondary has been playing decent, but that run D has been struggling a lot. So Josh Jacobs at only 5,000 seems like a very good value to me. Paired up with Jared Goff, you can go Cooper Kupp at 7.4 if you end up with the money. However your builds go throughout the week, we'll talk more in depth come Friday. But the guy that really sticks out to me for a good price is Robert Woods at 5.9. All right, Robert Woods is going against a Falcons team that's really given up some huge numbers to wide receiver twos. Okay, they gave up over 56 to Will Fuller, week 5. Okay, who we also had in the lineup in the week 5 domination. All right, they gave up over 24 to A.J. Brown. They gave up over 27 to Nelson Aguilar. Robert Woods is in a terrific spot. Outside of Cooper Kupp, he is the next up when it comes to targets. 13 targets week 1, 8 targets week 3, 15 targets week 4, 9 targets week 5. He only got 4 targets last week against San Francisco. He did get in the end zone, but seeing that he only got 4 targets, I would expect that to go up here against Atlanta. Atlanta will score here. This will be a nice shootout game. It is in a dome, so the pass game is going to be in full effect here. Todd Gurley could possibly miss again. Keep an eye on that, but that's just going to add more to the air. So definitely like Robert Woods at only 5'9". I'm not saying I don't like Cooper Kupp or I don't like Brandon Cooks. I just love the price for Robert Woods at 5'9" for the target share that he gets in this offense. All right, next wide receiver that I love has got to be Larry Fitzgerald going against Janoris Jenkins. Janoris Jenkins is a guy that we've been picking on all season long. He gave up over 48 to Mike Evans week 3. All right, gave up over 35 to Adam Thielen, and then another over 23 to Julian Edelman. The Giants have been giving it up in the past game, and Larry Fitzgerald hasn't had a score under 9 DraftKings points all season long. I absolutely love him here in this matchup against the Giants. This Arizona offense, one of the quickest pace. They run more plays than almost every team in the entire league. They move fairly quickly. That just means more possibilities for fantasy points. I can see a very nice outcome here in this matchup. I wouldn't be surprised to see an outcome kind of like week 1 against Detroit, where he got 8 catches, 113 yards, and a touchdown for 28 DraftKings points. Okay, it could be a huge game for Larry Fitzgerald in this one. All right. Next up, at wide receiver, a guy that I'm hoping gets a bit slept on, DK Metcalf. Will Dissly, the huge red zone target for Russell Wilson, has a serious injury, is going to be missing a shit ton of time, if not the entire season. I can't remember exactly. He might be missing the entire season. I believe he has an Achilles issue. DK Metcalf has the type of build to fill that role. I mean, the dude's 6'4", 229. Okay? So I would expect Metcalf to take over those red zone targets that Dissly was getting. We saw the type of targets Dissly was getting in the end zone. Expect Russell Wilson to look DK's way in the red zone especially. I can see a big game here against Baltimore. A lot of people might shy away because it's Baltimore and that defense is normally very tough. Well, this season they've been giving up big time to wide receiver twos. Over 20 to Christian Kirk week 2. Over 18 to Hardeman week 3. Over 27 to Landry week 4. And over 14 to Auden Tate last week. DK Metcalf is in an amazing position, and this total is actually at 27 as of recording this, which is right behind the Rams. So they're predicting them to put up a ton of points at home in Seattle. And like I said, this Baltimore secondary hasn't been playing very well, and DK Metcalf should absorb those red zone targets that are left behind from Will Dissly being out for most likely the season. All right. At tight end, the target monster Darren Waller. This dude straight up is just getting elite target share. He's kind of like up there with the main guys in the league when it comes to target share in the offense. This Oakland offense doesn't have many people to throw the ball to. But in this game, I would expect Oakland to get behind at Green Bay and have to throw it a ton. Expect Carr to look Waller's way early and often. Absolutely love Darren Waller. This dude's been getting a ton of targets. Had a down game against Chicago, and he still got 7. So expect him to get about 15 to 20 points, I'd predict, here against Green Bay. Absolutely love that target share for him there. And like I said, they don't have a whole bunch of weapons outside of Josh Jacobs, Tyrell Williams. Outside of that, I mean, they don't have a ton of options there. So expect Waller to get a ton of run in that offense and continue kind of how he's been doing this season and just getting a shit ton of targets. All right. At the flex position, this is something I normally don't do. Okay. I recommend going running back most of the time, but for the first look, for GPP upside purposes, a guy that really sticks out to me and hopefully ends up going under-owned in a very positive matchup, T.Y. Hilton. All right. He doesn't have Andrew Luck throwing in the ball anymore. I get it. But Jacoby Brissett is behind center, and he's actually been serviceable. He's been playing fairly well. T.Y. Hilton has been known to murder the Houston Texans week in, week out. He is at home in Indianapolis. I absolutely love T.Y. Hilton here at only 5'9". There's not a ton of weapons on this Colts offense. Expect Brissett to look T.Y.'s way. This Houston offense has been playing amazing, out of their mind. So expect them to be able to score at will against the Colts, forcing the Colts to continue to throw the ball. And T.Y. Hilton's going to be a big benefactor of that. I could see a 20-point big outing here against this Houston secondary that struggled last week, giving up over 25 to Tyreek Hill, making his first comeback of the season. And then they gave up over 46 to Keenan Allen week 3. All right. They've been giving up points. And with game script involved here, I do expect Houston to keep on going, keep moving that ball at will. And that's going to force the Colts to have to throw the ball. So Brissett and T.Y. Hilton I absolutely love. Speaking of which, Brissett this week is a decent price as well. He's 5'6" in a game where he should probably be throwing a ton to keep up here. He only got 11 at KC last week. Expect him to bounce back here at home for probably 20 plus here in this matchup against Houston that's been giving it up to quarterbacks. And like I said, the game script really lines up for him. But I'm leaning Jared Goff in this one paired with Robert Woods because I've kind of come to realize that there's certain defenses you just play quarterbacks against, and especially in a dome. And I mean, it just happens to be Goff's weekend here to tee off against my Atlanta Falcons, who have been atrocious, and I cry every time I watch them on TV. All right, last but not least, the Buffalo Bills at 4-3. I just happen to have this money here. Like I said, as the week goes on, I do a whole lot more studying and breaking this slate down. Things might change, but the Buffalo Bills are at home. One of the main things I look at when it comes to defenses is the defense at home. Okay, are they facing an offense that tends to struggle, gives up sacks, gives up turnovers? And this lines up perfectly for the Bills. They're at home in Buffalo. The Vegas total is only 11 points for Miami. I absolutely love the Bills at home. They're also huge favorites. That's another thing I look at with defense. I try to get, if I'm going to spend on defense and not just punt defense, I like to pick a defense that's huge favorites, because what that means is most likely that Bills offense is going to be able to move the ball at will against Miami and get up. That's going to force Rosen to make mistakes trying to keep up. All right? So Bills defense at 4-3, I absolutely love. And that's the first look. Jared Goff, Leonard Fournette, Josh Jacobs, Robert Woods, Larry Fitzgerald, DK Metcalf, Darren Waller. Something I don't do, and I don't encourage you to do it in cash games. T.Y. Hilton at the flex, and then the Bills defense to round it off. Thank you guys for joining me as always, man. Let's get this money week 7. NBA is coming up. Super hype. Remember, join the squad for week 7 at greenlightdfs.com, and I will be choosing one name to get the NBA season pass for the free. Thank you guys for joining me as always.